Caitlin Clark's impact on women's basketball continues to spark conversations. Her former college coach, Lisa Bluder, has encouraged everyone to embrace how Clark's rising stardom has benefited the sport. Following a standout 2024 WNBA Rookie of the Year season with the Indiana Fever, Clark was named Time Magazine's Athlete of the Year, a decision that Washington Mystics co-owner Sheila Johnson publicly disagreed with. In an interview with CNN Sports, Johnson attributed Clark's recognition partly to race and the media's portrayal, suggesting that the WNBA deserved more recognition, explicitly calling for the entire league to be named League of the Year. According to Johnson, the WNBA has had a long journey to its current level of recognition, but much of that attention should go to the league's black players, who have long been underappreciated. Johnson's perspective, while nuanced, emphasized that black players like Angel Reese and others have contributed significantly to the WNBA's rise in popularity. She expressed sympathy for talented players of color who never received the recognition they deserved, believing it was time for them to be acknowledged. Bluder, on the other hand, disagrees with Johnson's viewpoint. Having retired in May after coaching Caitlin Clark at Iowa for 4 years, Bluder sees Clark's success as a historic moment for women's sports. Bluder believes that Clark has done more to elevate women's athletics than almost anyone in recent memory, likening her impact to Billie Jean King's. She argues that while the WNBA's growth is collective, Clark's individuality can be seen as a problem. Instead, it should be viewed as a moment of unity for the league and a catalyst for further growth. Bluder emphasized that Clark's rise benefits all women's basketball. "Let's get on the bandwagon and help her out. Make her life a little bit easier because she is helping all of us," Bluder said. "When Caitlin's light shines on her, it shines on all of us." In this sense, Bluder encourages others in the basketball community to embrace Clark's success rather than resist it, as her spotlight can elevate the entire league. Clark has non-defense knowledge of her privilege as a white athlete, particularly within the WNBA, which black players have built. In her Time magazine interview, she recognized the importance of honoring the contributions of black players to the league's success. "The more we can appreciate that, highlight that, talk about that, and then continue to have brands and companies invest in those players that have made this league incredible," Clark said, stressing the importance of elevating black women in sports. She also noted that her recognition is earned, but she acknowledged the larger societal context in which her privilege exists. By highlighting the achievements of black athletes, she hopes to continue to advance the WNBA and women's basketball. The conversation surrounding Clark's rise is more than just about her acts. It's a larger conversation about race, recognition, and the future of women's basketball. Clark and Bluder emphasize that as Clark's star rises, the entire WNBA and women's sports will ultimately benefit. It's clear that for Clark, the focus isn't just on her achievements, but on pushing the sport forward for everyone, particularly for those players who have been overlooked in the past.